This is how it all started for Bubba McDowell and the Prairie Panthers at the beginning of 2023.
Other than we're better than what everybody rated us at. I'll leave it at that.
And we got Coach today talking about how he thinks his program will fare against the FAMU Rattlers in the 2023 SWAC Football Championship. Let's go. Blow the whistle, baby. All right, HBCU family, it's Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends on Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation. We have here with us today the 2023 SWAC West Champion coach, none other than Mr. Bubba McDowell. What's going on, Coach?
What up, Cam? What's up, buddy?
Oh, man. Good. We finally landed you, man. I know we've been talking all through the season on the phone, what have you, but we finally got you here on video to talk about what's going to go down at Bragg Memorial Stadium in Tallahassee on December 4th. Ooh, man, that's a lot. That's a lot to kind of digest there. But before that, man, I just wanted to say to you, congratulations, because your program has had some ups and downs over the past couple of seasons, especially your first season when you could have won the SWAC West title, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I want people to know the man, Bubba McDowell, as well. A lot of people know you, but don't know who you are. How did it all start for you in football?
Oh man, again, it just started back when we're going way back. Like
no. Let's do high school,
college. High school, yeah, okay. No, high school again. It was just at Merritt Island High. I was coached by we had great players there at Merritt Island High. Under Coach Gerald Odom, late Gerald Odom, where we had national championship. We was a powerhouse back in those days. And again, it was a kid that really didn't want to play football. But they got me started, man. And I started as a sophomore at that time, because it was 10th grade, 11th and 12th, at Merritt Island, man, and started as a wide receiver and and then it just went on from there. I got switched up from wide receiver going into my second year, wide receiver to quarterback, and then
wow.
Then from wide receiver quarterback to running back. My last year we went to the wishbone, so I had to go play quarterback and a little running back. Hardly ever played any defense, at that school, but we had a nice crew. The only time, a lot of the starters played defense when the opponent got across our 50-yard line.
Okay,
so that's how I started, man, and again, just blessed to get an offer from from Miami and other big schools, Power 5 schools at the time, and PWO, should I say, and me and my best buddy Eric Ham, we decided we was gonna do a package. So he got recruited by Florida State. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Florida State was the only school that didn't recruit me at that time. So, and again, we was our whole coaching staff was Gators guys. They were from the University of Gators. And they thought we was gonna go there. And we didn't. We was headed there, and then that recruiter stopped recruiting us. And Don Solinger, came in, and he stayed on us. He was coming to a lot of our basketball games, and sure enough, me and Eric say, man, look, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's commit. So we went on ahead and committed to the University of Miami.
Well, look, man, you were not just a part of any team. You were part of one of the best teams all time in that crew. Just talk about some of the stars that were on that team. People don't know you are part of this national championship team.
Yeah, man. Again, being blessed to be around some guys that that are in the Hall of Fame, some that's still gonna, probably gonna be in there a little bit later on. Came in, had Bernie Kosar my first year. He was there. Of course, he went to Cleveland early. He left early, I think his junior year. Then came Benny Testaverde, and Michael Irvin, the late great Jerome Brown, Alonzo Hyde. Yeah, Alonzo Highsmith, Eddie Brown, late Eddie Brown, Winston Moss. So we do, George Meyer Jr. linebackers, man. So we had some dudes, man. On the wide receiver side, of course, we had 88, Hall of Fame Michael Irvin, who taught me a lot. Used to go up against every day, and made me better as a player. When I was transition from the college to the pros. Brett Perriman, speedster, Benny Blaze, back then the secondary, Brian Blaze on the other side with all. So we had some dudes, man. We had some dudes.
That's a loaded team.
Steve Walsh, the quarterback at the time when we won it. Yeah, very loaded.
Wow. So I know you played with the Oilers. You played with my cousin Steven Jackson, and you guys are the young guns. That's how they labeled you. The 4 defensive backs that came in for that draft, but you guys were also pretty good as far as how you defended the Astrodome. And saying the Astrodome, remember? The Astrodome. Yeah. But you guys were just young and up-and-coming guys playing with Warren Moon on the opposite side as well, Hall of Famer. But then you went into coaching, and now after many years being a defensive backs coach, assistant head coach, you finally got your opportunity. You played, you coached under Willie Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to go against?
But I actually started with Coach Northern, Heights Northern. He brought me in.
Okay.
Yeah, he brought me in, and then from there, Willie came in, and then on to Coach Dooley.
Okay, and Coach Dooley. Okay, so after a couple of national searches of their own and in PV, and you watched them go through the national search, you finally got your big break yourself. And you not only embraced it, you put your own stamp on it, and now you guys are in a position after winning the SWAC West. We don't know what's going to happen on December 4th. You guys could be headed to the Celebration Bowl if you guys come through with what people are saying will be a major upset. Mm-hmm. Talk about that and how you feel as a coach with going through this whole journey thus far in your life.
I mean, it was definitely a journey. I mean, it was a journey that, I was patient with, again, starting coaching this game, because I always said I never wanted to coach, even when I retired with the Oilers. And then I didn't jump right into training guys, Daniel Manning, Ken Hamlin, for their pro day, then, fast forward, Alonzo Highsmith said, hey, man, you ought to try coaching. You good with guys? And I said, oh, no. So he said, man, just try. His dad, Walter Highsmith, was there at the time at TSU, and he was like, hey, man, just try. Then that's when Bill Thomas came in. They got rid of Coach Hyde. Bill Thomas came in, tried it for 4 years. He said, I volunteered for 4 years over there, stayed on another 2 years under Steve Wilson, went over to Coach Brow at U of H for a year. And still at that time, wasn't even looking into, being a head guy. I wanted to be the best defensive back coach possible. That was my thought. But then when the opportunity came, when Coach Norton brought me in, even then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave Willow Ridge. And after the second year, I said, shoot, man, this is a great opportunity to go up there. I always want to be part of an HBCU type, regiment, because I was at Texas Southern. So it was easy for me to make that transition up the road to PV. And shoot, at that point, still I was like, hey, man, I just want to be the best teacher I can to give these guys an opportunity to get to the next level, if possible, because again, although that rumor about HBCU guys, kids, players, can't make it to the next level, highest level. So kind of want to dismantle some of that stigma. We have some guys that can play, on the next level or some type of the highest level. So again, and then as God would have it, me waiting in the process. And again, then when Willie came in, he left, and Dooley came in, and even at that time, I was like, you know what? I sat back, talked to some people, my mentors, and they're like, look, man, if you feel it, do it. And Coach Dooley said something a while back. I think it was the last year before he left. He said, "Look, man, make sure that and we were just in the staff meeting. He was like, hey, make sure this is what you want to do, because a lot of people think they want to do it, but they're not ready for it." Right. And that's where I was at and had been. Like, I was, no, I don't want that hot. I don't want that pressure there. Absolutely not being the head guy. But as God would have it, I thought at that particular time I was ready to go. So that's why I applied for it, hoping that I would get it. And as God would have it, I got it. Went through the first year. Again, like you said, I thought we should have had our opportunity to go to the SWAC championship last year. Didn't happen. Came back this year. So, put together a team. Brought back some guys that initially went with Coach Dooley when he left down to Southern, then brought them back, and we put some players together, a team together. We went through our ups and downs, but we knew what kind of athletes we had. Right. In the process of putting this team together. But it was about us just trying to make sure that we can, keep everybody together, and kind of put our stamp on it, more so me as a head coach, trying to change that culture a little bit around here, gotcha. A winning culture, be it physically, be it mentally, in the classroom, out there socially, doing stuff, community-wise. So I want to kind of put all that together, and hopefully that will give us that winning attitude. And I think for the most part, Kyle, it has happened, because again, had we not done that, had the players not come together, believing in each other, throughout the course of the year, when it was times that I thought they were going to give up through the little losses, the SMU, the ACUs, the ACUs, they could easily win in the tank, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. A good testament, of them staying the course, as I preach to them every day. Hey, we gotta stay the course. You gotta finish this process out. Again, and I always just try to remind them, like, hey, if you're not good enough, you wouldn't be here. We were good enough to be there last year.
Yeah,
we fell short with 3 games, and more so, with Valley, again, that we should have won, and we went down there, we took it for granted, we didn't. And I told him, I said, dude, when we get back to this stage, we got to understand how to finish the process, and I promise you, as I told them all year, I said, we're going to be here. We're going to a little slim. They thought, the Grambling game, it was all done and over with. And Kyle, I told him at the end of the game, I said, look, man, and I was yelling and saying the little square words, like blah, blah, blah. We're going to be back here. It's going to happen again. I just need you guys to stay the course, finish the process. And I said, we do that when that time comes, and we take care of our business and not let anybody else, not depend on anybody else, we're going to be okay. Man, and as God would have it, shoot, it came down to that. And we're like, look, Alabama State, look, we got to win this thing. No ifs and buts about it. We got to win it, and it's all on you guys. So we just kept, drilling that into them all year. And then, shoot, last thing I said to them, I said, and also remember, and I always usually I throw it in at the end after I get through talking. I say, yeah, and also remember too now that they did vote y'all like
at the bottom. That's right.
Whenever I say that to them, they just go a different route, man.
Look, man. I got and listen, and this is Coach Bubba McDowell of the Prairie View Panthers with us on HBCU Legends. And guys, I got to share with you this. We're at the press conference at the beginning of the season, Labor Day press conference. I got there late. I was running a little late behind. Got a chance to be able to put the microphone in front of Coach. He talked it up a little bit. But then he got serious, y'all. He said it, and he said it back then. They rated us lower than well we should have been. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's all that he said. And he meant it. And it's got to be vindication for you at this point to see where you guys are. But I kind of hesitate on the vindication part right now, because you might have 2 more games ahead of you. Absolutely. Talk about that point. I mean, why was it that the athletic and a lot of people don't know the athletic directors, SIDs, are the ones who, from the SWAC, vote on the preseason honors and positioning and predictive positions, all this other stuff. So why do you believe that your fellow peers in the conference didn't see you guys coming back and repeating what you did the year before?
I think a lot of it has to do with, a lot of the other guys had, they were pretty young. Those guys had a lot of guys coming back, kids coming back, players coming back. We graduated some guys, some key guys at key positions,
Right.
and again, a lot of times when you see that and you notice that as a coach, looking at other teams, they tend to vote that way because again, it's all about those, that have got that pedigree, what I'm saying, the Grambling, the Alcorns who've been there and done it, where we hadn't done that, So I can understand them voting those guys in, being that they had a lot of young men talent coming back, and whereas we was, we were still there, we was in the hunt, but again, we lost some dudes, and they didn't think that we were going to be able to put it together this year, and again, it's all about us going out, recruiting, getting the right guys in to help us get back to where we were last year. And here we are.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a testament to what you're saying. You lost some guys, lost some key guys. I remember you guys lost Jesse Evans as well. Yeah. He entered the transfer portal. I think he's in Louisiana now. But it's a testament to how well you guys have been coaching all along, that you're at this point now where you're headed to the SWAC championship, as well as you learned from last season, that final game against Mississippi Valley State, we're not going to repeat that. Yeah, we're going to do this a little bit differently in 2023. All right, now let's talk about what's going to happen between you guys and Florida A&M. Mm-hmm. The first game didn't go quite the way you wanted at Bragg Memorial Stadium. You guys lost, was it 45-7? Mm-hmm. And early on in the game, you guys were kind of close, 14-7 in the second quarter, until right before halftime, they unleashed that bomb that went for the touchdown from Musa. And it just seemed like the old Mo, as Keith Jackson says, swung in the direction of the Rattlers.
Oh my God, did it.
How will you guys get these guys a little bit more focused, especially offensively, because the defense held up as well as they could against what they were going against?
Yeah, offensively, defense I think did a good job. First half anyway. Had a little lackluster effort, let down. Early third quarter coming out of halftime, but we bounced back enough to get us back in the game. Now, what has to happen is offensively. Again, we had some plays out there. Shoot, we left it wide open. And kid you not, we probably should have had about the second half, probably about 21 points easily, if not more, had we executed and made the plays that we was capable of making. But again, we didn't make it, and that's that. So we got to figure out offensively now going back into this game against a good defense, how to make those plays. And I challenge guys all the time. I said, look, man, at the end of the day, schemes are schemes, right? Everybody has scheme. Coaches have scheme. We look at plays, how to dissect and break things down, film down all week long, some 2 weeks, depending on if they're off a week. And I said, but at the end of the day, fellas, it's about you being better than that guy across from you. I mean, I say it all the time. If I'm 80, 90% better than that guy across from me, I have a better chance, or we have a better chance as a whole winning the game. But again, what we can't do is, do 50 here, then 60 there, then come back and do 30 here. I said it has to be like that consistent. And that's where we were losing it. Even throughout the year, in some other games, that the consistency was not there. And as I told them, we've been doing a lot better going down this last stretch and being consistent in play. Still offensively, we leaving some things out there. Defense has been balling their butts off. Offense, we're still leaving some things out there. We got to get corrected going into this game against the Rattlers. And if we do, Kyle, I think it'll be a much better game. It'll be a different game. And again, we didn't. And again, not an excuse, but those guys that we didn't have last time, Juice, Brian Jenkins Jr. Got a concussion a day before the during game.
Wow. In practice? Oh, wow.
Yeah, in practice, man. He and couldn't play, so he couldn't play. I had to suspend one of my top wide receiver, Travis. Number one, Samar. I had to suspend him. He didn't get a chance to travel to that game. Okay. So again, we got everybody healthy now, and we got to keep them healthy. And I believe that if we can get everybody healthy, keep them healthy, going into this game, it'll give us a much better chance against a good team like that.
Man. So you got your full complement coming back. You guys got more consistent attitude, more focus going into this game as well. Mm-hmm. What about the passion? Because you talked to me about that earlier this season. You wanted these guys to have some more passion, some more grit, to especially at your leadership positions. How's that right now in the locker room?
It's phenomenal, and again, it's like almost a 180 turnaround, man, 360 turnaround. And again, it's at the right time, and that's what you want as a coach. We can preach it all year long. And was it there? Absolutely not. As coaches, we try to tell these guys, look, man, we can't go out there and play for you guys. We can't be the ones who try to get y'all hyped up every freaking play. We only can put you in position to make the plays. Now we need some hype players and some hype makers, and a lot of that comes through through good play. You got to be able to go out there again, win the battle. You got to go out there, make catches. In order to win those battles, you got to make catches that you're not capable of making, catches that people don't think you can make, rushes that they don't think you can rush and get to the quarterback and do. Runs, cuts, all those things we talk about, you got to be able to do if you want to be a good team, and if you want to be that better team, and that's what we try to instill into them. Like, look, man, it's you against him every down, every play. Who's gonna be the better athlete? And they taking on that type of mentality. And I think, again, going into this game, everybody's healthy. They on a different vibe right now. It's gonna help us out quite a bit. If they go in and just do what they're asked to do and perform their duties, and that we'll be fine. That's been one of our biggest issues too. Guys trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing because they're trying to make plays. And I'm like, dude, just do your job first, and the play's gonna come to you.
Right.
And when we show it to them on film, I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then a lot of times they can't give you a reason because they know they screwed it up. They should have been where they're supposed to be. Oh, then and some will tell you, oh, coach, I was just trying to make a play. Well, dude, come on, man, just run the defense, run the offense, run the special team as the coaches instruct you to do, and you'll be fine. The play is gonna come, and that's our biggest thing. Just trying to make sure that they understand, do my job, and let the play happen, and those great opportunities that await you, they will come if you continue to do your job.
Now, let's talk about special teams. A lot of people focus on the offense, and a lot of people focus on the defense. But the special teams, my old mentor used to tell me, special teams make a team special. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen there? I know your kicker, he's been doing a very good job this season, but also on the return side, you guys been kind of close a few times.
Oh yeah.
So how are you guys going to play it up against the Raptors?
Again, I mean, we just got to go out and do our jobs. We talked about it earlier this morning. We talked about it yesterday, and we'll talk about it again, even more so tomorrow morning. And again, Kyle, it's about these guys going out. Again, I keep reiterating, doing their job. We're getting better. And again, we talked about consistency earlier. We're getting even more consistent with the special teams down the stretch. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with them feeling comfortable with one another and believing in one another, believing that they can go down every play. I mean, every kickoff, every punt, whatever it may be, and make a play. And that's what we're trying to instill into them. And more importantly, they gotta trust each other. And that's what's happening. I mean, and they run it. I just share a story with them about how we used to do it in Miami. Man, we used to race. When we would shoot, when we were freshman, sophomore running down,
Yeah.
we probably had one of the baddest kickoff teams in the country. I mean, we were the Robert Baileys, the Rod Carter, Tracy Wade. We were running, coach. We were running. Who's going to be the first down there to make that tackle on kickoff? And that's the kind of attitude I want these guys to take on every special team. Whether it's punt and we're trying to get that block, and the gunner's getting down there making a play, kickoff, get them inside the 20 or kickoff return, taking that thing to the house.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize a 7 yards in your favor from the 25 going to the 30 can mean 3 points or more on the scoreboard. And on the flip side, if you push them back further, that means that you can flip the field on these guys. Just in 7 yards, that's been proven over the years. That makes a world of difference. If you can go +7, it's your favorite. -7 on the other side is your favorite as well. All right, let's talk about this, man. And unfortunately, in the SWAC, and it's a part of what happens in the season. And I know these two guys are friends of yours, Coach Dooley as well as Coach McKinney. Lost their positions as head football coaches of their respective programs. Dooley over at Southern University, which was mind-boggling to me after just taking the team to the SWAC championship last year.
Exactly.
And for them to be able to make a leadership change this season, but that's just me. And Coach McKinney, who was on the precipice of really breaking through with the Tigers at Texas Southern. Talk about, do you feel as though programs are too impatient these days?
I do. And again, and the reason why I say that, because again, you bring a coach in, and again, whether it be 2 years to 5 years, and again, and I say 5 years because in Coach McKinnon's position, again, it's not like he wasn't in a lot of games, even more so this year. I mean, a lot of the games that he was in, it was like right there. Of course, it didn't pan out in his favor, and I get it. As fans, they want to see somebody winning, especially your team. But at the same time, if it's a situation where, and it's just me, and again, my view may be different from others, if they see where you're not winning and just winning close, and you just end the ball game and not winning, that's totally different. They want everybody wants to win, and I understand that. Now, in Coach Dooley case, I'm like you. I was baffled. I mean, again, you're in the SWAC championship last year. Again, and then you're 500 this year. Again, don't know what happened. Don't know the relationship, what was going on there. But I do know that you got two good coaches that are out there right now that's looking that can build a program and just to have them to not be in somebody's system or university. To me, it's not a good thing. Because again, I've seen these guys coach. I know what they can do. I know they can put a program together. But we have to, again, just my opinion. I'm not sure. No, and again, I'm not swaying anybody anyway. But we got to give these guys an opportunity. And it's so funny you mentioned that, Kyle, because I said that the other day to my guys. And I might have mentioned a little bit on the coaching show the other day. About I'm telling my dudes, dude, I'm gonna hold you responsible. We got coaches putting you guys in position. We go in there, we watch film, and then you guys not doing what you're supposed to do. That makes us look bad, and it makes people think we can't coach you guys. I said, no, I'm gonna put all that ownership on you guys, and I said, me, I'm very truthful, I'm very real, and I'm gonna tell it to you like, I said, it's your fault. I mean, again, we can't blame everything all on the coaches. These players got to take ownership in that, and I think one of the reasons why we're playing so well at this particular time right now as well is because they have heard that from us, and they are taking that, they're taking that very seriously, because you got players that like certain coaches and don't want to be without them, and it's a possibility. And again, if you're not performing well enough, those coaches can't be gone. Whether it be the university getting rid of the head coach or the head coach getting rid of that position coach.
Yeah. Coach Prime's taking a beating.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I think it's a little bit of what you just said. Some of the play hasn't been executed well enough to be able to get those guys over the hump in Colorado. It hasn't been the coaching as much as some of the play from the young people. But like you say, ultimately, as the head coach, you are responsible
Absolutely. Yep.
for driving the baby, right? So, all right. Let's talk about this. You guys are going to have the press conference pretty soon, you and Coach Simmons. And are you going to have to go down to Tallahassee, or is it going to be a couple of days before?
I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anything about it yet, so I'm honestly not sure how they're going to do it. Yes, sir.
All right. So when will the team fly from the airport in Houston down to Florida?
We're gonna leave Thursday. We're gonna leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I told our people we need to leave Thursday, get down there a day early, just kind of get ourselves acclimated a day before the game, and kind of relax a little bit instead of just flying in, doing all these meetings, then boom, pop right back up real early that morning. So AD Golf and his staff agreed to let's get us down there a day early so we can just kind of get there and relax, and go through a little light walkthrough.
Okay. Do you feel like it's your advantage? Usually the second, I'm an avid boxing fan. So usually that second fight goes to the person who lost the first fight. And I don't know why it is like that, psychological as well. Do you feel as though you guys have an advantage knowing what these guys can bring offensively, defensively, with that dark cloud defense that they have, but the Panthers themselves, do you feel like you guys have an opportunity to say, hey, it's all pressure on them and not on us?
It is. I mean, it is. And rightfully so, because again, a lot of times when you're on the top, everybody's trying to get there, and they only lost one game, nothing in the SWAC, in FCS. So it's pressure is on them. But at the end of the day, we still got to go down there and play football. We got to play Panther football like we've been playing, or better than we've been playing the last 2 weeks. Again, we're going against a good football team. They know us, we know them. Now it's going to come down to, again, who can put together 4 quarters of football consistently, to help them win that game, because again, it's going to be rowdy. It's going to be
rowdy. Yeah.
It's going to be probably worse than homecoming, and our kids got to understand that. And then they do. They know what's at stake. And like I told them, I said, dude, you wasn't put back here by mistake. And that's what I try to make them understand. I'm like, dude, this is not by a mistake where you are right now. All I ask you guys to do is take advantage of it by being consistent in what you do on the practice field, running through your plays, get them corrected, so we can be able to take that same attitude, energy to the Rattler Stadium come Saturday at 3:00. And if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
I said it when you guys first met. It was going to be the preview for the SWAC championship game.
You did,
and I meant it. And I think right now you guys are in a prime position to be able to open some eyes and shock some worlds. And it's going to also help with recruiting and also getting some spotlight on your program. But bigger than that, Bubba, it gives you some spotlight as well to let people know that you are a good and solid football coach, and you're leading a great program over at Prairie View at this time.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And that's all I'm trying to do is lead these young men. Again, to me, it's not all about football. Just trying to get these young men to understand, this is an avenue for them that they can take it and do whatever they want with it after they're done with their career. Because as I tell them all the time, you get a lot of companies that want to be associated with you young men because you guys have been through a lot of different adversities, a lot of the ups and downs, and they know that you guys can handle tough situations. So they want to be a part of that. And I always tell my dudes, like, look, man, at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you treat others how you want to be treated. And watch how some good things start happening to you. And I think a lot of that too has to do with the way we're playing as well.
Who are your top seniors right now?
No, Keyshawn Johnson and definitely, Trayvon.
I think we extended him an offer to the HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Yeah,
right?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think so. Coach, December 3rd, 6:30, 7 o'clock range.
Mhm.
What will people say about PV?
Well, I know one thing. They said they're a very resilient bunch of young men, but a coaching staff that kept these guys together. And again, it's not even about me. It's about my guys, that I trust to not only coach them, but to mentor them, in the right way, to stay focused and do what they're supposed to do. Again, we went through some ups and downs, had some close games, Alcorn, TSU, Grambling, but again, we came out on the losing end, and people really thought we were going to, tank it in when we lost to ACU, SMU, ACU, and think we couldn't bounce back. But again, it's a testament to not only us, but the young men believing what we tell them and believing in each other that they were going to be back here at this position again and be able to take care of business the way that they know how, and not let what happened last year happen again this year. And again, just a bunch of resilient young men that are out here having fun. That's what we want them to do. Have fun doing what you love to do.
All right. It's going to be December, was it 2nd, 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Tallahassee at Bragg Memorial Stadium. It's going to be rocking. You got the FAMU Rattlers versus the Prairie View Panthers. Two storied programs. Two great coaches, Willie Simmons and Bubba McDowell. Coach, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.
All right.